Steve Orr. Missing and assumed fed. Missing and assumed fed, Steve Orr.
Have you ever felt lost? I mean, really lost. Without help, without hope, without even Google Maps? Fellow Toastmasters, guests, Madam Contest Chair, all my life, I've been an optimist. I believe that if you have faith and keep your cool, things usually work out for the best. But there came a day when that optimism would be put to the test. When I was in my 20s, I used to visit my family in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where my dad worked as a pilot. Saudi Arabia is home to one of the largest, hottest, most barren deserts on the face of the planet. So naturally, it came as a bit of a surprise, and one day my dad said, "Load up the car, kids, we're going on a picnic." The place he'd chosen for the outing was a small village called Taif. Taif was located high up in the mountains, 6,000 feet. And about the only place you could go for a cool breeze and some beautiful green scenery. We headed out. Me, my mom, my dad, my sister. The road up to Taif was an adventure in itself. Steep, narrow, winding, always feeling like you're going to fall off. Somehow we made it. Pulled out our picnic basket and, man, what a feast. Best chicken and rice ever. Hummus, pita bread, stuffed dates. They had this delightful Arabic pastry called Twinkies. All too soon, it was time to head back. As we began our descent, we quickly realized that driving conditions had changed. A cloud had descended on the mountain, and we were driving through fog as thick as tar. As we inched our way forward, suddenly a police roadblock stopped our car. "Go no further," he said. "Visibility too poor. You must turn car around, go other direction." Now to go in the other direction meant to go through the desert. And to go through the desert meant no street lights, no street signs, no streets. Nothing. My mom, a major worrier, was already starting to panic. "Bill, what have you gotten us into?" she said to my dad. "Don't worry, Mom," I said. "I got a feeling. We're going to make it." We'd been driving about an hour when the sun went down. We started to lose our sense of which direction home was. I reached for my cell phone to call for help, and then I remembered it was 1985. After driving a while longer, we came across some Bedouins, or desert nomads, camping. Using our limited Arabic, we asked them the direction to Jeddah. One of them said something that sounded like, "Ittabani," hopped in his truck and sped off. I assumed he meant, "Follow me." Could have easily been, "Must return library book." Regardless, we took a chance and followed him as he led us deeper and deeper, deeper to the desert. At this point, my mom was totally freaking out. "Where is he taking us? How do we know we can trust him?" "Don't worry, Mom," I said. "We're going to make it." Just then, he stopped his truck, pointed off to the right, and sped off to the left. Oh, great, she's right. We just got punked by a Bedouin. But then I realized he'd taken us to a dried riverbed. We drove along it, using it as a makeshift road. We drove on and on and on. If my dad was saying calm for the family's sake, my mom was a raging tornado. "I'm starving and I'm thirsty. What do we have left?" I checked the picnic basket. Nothing but a few crumbs and a couple of Twinkie wrappers. You kids ate everything? Even the last Twinkie? You know nothing about survival in the desert. And she could say that, of course, because she was raised in this harsh, desolate wasteland called Brooklyn. At one point, I glanced down. I noticed a needle writing on E. A deathly silence shrouded the car. Don't worry, I said. I got a feeling we're going to make it. No response. That optimistic attitude that I had my entire life, this seemed like the perfect time to pass it on. Hey, I said, a riddle. What has two thumbs and is getting out of this thing alive? This guy! That got a slight chuckle, kind of like tonight. But it broke the tension, and that was priceless. Finally, dying of thirst, on the verge of running out of gas, I saw a tiny little pinpoint of light off in the distance. And then another one. And then a whole sea of them. We made it. I couldn't believe it. We made it. 15 minutes later, we're pulling up in front of our house. It may have been a prefab condo in a company compound in a foreign desert. But on that day, on that particular day, nothing had ever felt more like home. I learned something. My Lawrence for Arabia days are over now, but I learned something. Through all that, I learned that when you're an optimist, there are no bad experiences, only new adventures. One day, you're going to find yourself feeling a little bit lost. But when that happens, just remember, as long as you keep a positive attitude, you're going to make it too. But, just to hedge your bets, always carry a spare Twinkie. Madam Contest Chair.